with me here. All right. Hello and welcome. My name is Kylie Brigler, and I am so excited to share with you all tonight. Like I said, we're going to start in about 30, 60 seconds. We just want to give everybody a chance to jump in, tune in. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Also, drop a one in the comments if this is your first time hearing the information that you're about to hear. You actually don't know what you're in for. You've never been on a Zoom meeting like this. I would love to know who we're reaching and any of our first timers. Awesome, awesome. Indianapolis, Cleveland. Oh, we're in the Midwest. Hello. Northern Kentucky in the house right here. Okay, it's hot. It's 85 today. Hallelujah. I'm loving it. Oregon, Colorado, Ohio, New York, Wisconsin. Oh my goodness, you guys. Flood in the comments. I love this. I love seeing you jump on. If you feel comfortable, we'd love to see your faces. If you don't feel comfortable, that's okay too. You're going to see mine and you're going to see a few others. And so, welcome everyone. Like I said, my name is Kylie Rigler, and I'm going to be talking about an incredible space that I truly am so passionate about that I believe has the power to massively transform your quality of life. If that makes sense, it could be physical for you, it could be financial. You may not even understand why you're here tonight. So, I'm going to give you a quick little backstory of me. I found my way into this peer-to-peer commerce, network marketing, social marketing, whatever you want to call it. I found my way into this space about 11 years ago. At that point, I was a busy hairstylist, working nights and weekends behind the chair, and I needed more time. Okay. Mark and I, you're going to hear from Mark here in a little bit. He and I were talking about time is the ultimate currency, but I also needed real currency too. It's a real thing for me. I need a little bit of both. Okay. Anybody ever found yourself in that place? So, as a busy hairstylist, I had rebuilt my business over and over again. That's kind of the way it works. If you move more than like 5 or 10 miles, your clients just are not always willing to follow you. And I had moved from Indiana to Kentucky, Ohio. I had done the whole tri-state, and I learned the hard way that I was real broke and I had to keep getting broker. And I remember asking my husband at one point, we were newlyweds. He was working 60 hours a week, and we honestly just expected this is the way life was going to be. And I was like, where's your zest for life? I feel like we need to have more fun. We need to be able to do more things. And we also didn't have a whole lot of money. And I didn't see a way out until a good friend of mine invited me to take a look at something kind of like you're looking at tonight. And so tonight we're going to breeze through some information. I'm going to share with you the power of what it's like to refer a friend to a space like this. But fast forward, essentially, I dove into that first company, rose to the top very quickly, and actually was able to start earning more in a month than I was used to making in a year. So to say that it had changed my life, it was the understatement of the century, y'all. I felt like I won the lottery. I'm just being honest with you. My husband was able to walk away from his busy warehouse job where it wasn't necessarily required of him to work 60 hours a week, but our bills required it, and that's where he was. And so the fact that he got to be a stay-at-home dad for the best years of our kids' lives, when I say time is the ultimate currency, we lived it. We know what that feels like, and we would never change a thing. But a few years ago, I realized in the middle of a global pandemic, I don't know if you were there with me, as we were all sitting home, being forced to sit home, we were kind of forced to think. I don't know if you do that too much, but I was thinking a whole lot during that season. And I was like, wow, we are really sick and we are really tired. And I don't know about you, but I started to feel like people were waking up to this movement, wondering, okay, are we just slapping another band-aid on the problem, or are we actually going to get to the root cause of the issue? And so, our point tonight, the company that I actually stumbled upon just 8 months ago, I'm going to be talking to you about what this timing looks like, what the opportunity looks like, what the product looks like. We're going to breeze through some information. So I just invite you to have an open heart and open mind for the next 15, 20 minutes, maybe even 5 minutes. If 5 minutes from now you're like, this lady's an idiot and I don't really care to hear another thing that she says, maybe at least stay tuned for Mark. You might like him better than me. Okay, I'm just letting you know, but we're going to jump right into it. And I have a feeling if you can keep an open mind tonight, you're going to be very pleasantly surprised with the information that we have to share. Now, let me get my ducks in a row here. I do have a brand new slide set, and sometimes technology is our friend, but we don't ever know what's going to happen. So bear with me here. Here we are. the name of our company, we're going to get right on into it. Okay. It's called Marketplace Global. And we are essentially a house of products, the marketplace of products that are unique to us. And hold on, my slides are still being goofy. There we go. Now you can see my screen a little bit better. And so our company, just quick backstory, we're actually not even 4 years old. We're kind of a baby company, but we operate like a company that's been around for a whole lot longer because we have 20 plus years in the USA manufacturing systems and facilities. We are known for our high quality wellness products and truly led by trusted leadership with a heart for community and wellness. Now, I do want to give you a quick snapshot here, okay? I have been called a leader in this space, meaning I have personally led teams of tens of thousands of people all across the globe. I've helped more people make money online. I've lost count. I became a massive success story, but I've also helped a whole lot of other people not just walk away from their careers, buy their time back, but make life-changing income. And I say that because when I found Marketplace Global, in fact, I didn't really find it, it found me. I actually was not looking for another network marketing opportunity. I had been burned. I had lost trust. I had seen lots of changes in places that I trusted. And I was actually considering going back to work in a traditional job. And it was a conversation I had with my daughter because I said, I just don't know if there's anything worth jumping into right now. You guys, this was just this past summer. I had a conversation with my daughter and I said, hey, mom, now keep in mind, my kids were the reason I got into this space. I wanted more time with them. Okay. And I looked my daughter in the eyes and I said, hey, mom's thinking about taking a sales job. It would require me to drive a lot and be gone a lot, but the money could be pretty good, comparable to maybe what be able to maintain the lifestyle that we're used to. And she actually cried. She's 12 years old. And she's like, well, I don't like that idea. I don't want you to be gone all the time. We're used to having you here. And thank God I got a phone call from my friend Lisa, and she said, I'm just inviting you to take another look. So maybe this is the first time you're looking at this, maybe it's another look, but truly, I am so glad that I said yes to at least the information. And so I saw this and I saw a couple things that were going on here. Exclusive product lines, like I said, a company that operated like it had been around for years, but still the timing in which it was the first time I'd ever even heard the name Marketplace Global. In fact, there's a hero product I'm going to be sharing with you. I thought that product was the name of the company. Like that's how ignorant I was to this whole thing. But there was something magical happening here. So quickly, what we're about, we are a true wellness company, and we truly believe with every fiber of our being that wellness begins when you stop masking the symptoms, no pun intended, and we start healing the root cause. So getting to the root cause, do you believe, drop a 2 in the comments if you actually believe that our bodies, when they are operating the way they're supposed to be, that we can heal ourselves from pretty much anything. Drop a 2 if you believe that, or maybe you'd be open to understanding what that means. That's where I was. So the health and wellness problem that we're seeing right now, especially in the United States, I know we're reaching places, United States, Canada, we are international. We're in about 10 different countries right now, and we're expanding very, very quickly. But here in the US, where I live, 3 in 4 adults are overweight. I have some really good friends that live in the Philippines, and every time they come here, they're like, man, they're like, you Americans, you like to eat. It's a real thing, okay? We are also in the Philippines, and we love our Filipino friends, but that is a reality. 3 in 4 are overweight. 75% of Americans are experiencing extreme levels of stress, and 70 million adults are reporting poor sleep. How many hours of sleep did you get last night? Why is it when we go to the doctor, they tell us to rest? It's very important for our optimal health. Now, there are rising rates of fatigue. I actually think this has a lot to do with it. We are distracted more than ever before. Hormone imbalances, the foods that we're eating are no longer giving us the nutrients that we need. We're full of inflammation. And good Lord, could we talk about the digestive issues? I think we're all adults on here. Everybody poops or everybody should. It's a real thing. So medications are truly stacking up, and doctors are just going, try this one, try this one, try this one. I have people I love in my immediate family that can't even count the amount of pills that they're supposed to take each day that are actually to treat the symptoms of the pill of the first issue that they came to the doctor for. Anybody else? Can I get an amen? Okay, there's nothing wrong with the pharmaceutical companies necessarily in certain avenues. We're not here to preach against pharmaceutical companies. There's a time and a place. However, there is something wrong if we're not asking the right questions. Would you agree with that? And so, what we have here at MPG is a marketplace of simple, effective, and affordable products that meet your wellness needs, addressing the root cause issues and not masking the symptoms. Now, here is where I really want you to hear me out, okay? This isn't just another shake company or wellness company or weight loss company. What we have is exclusive to us. And the first product I really want to highlight tonight, no one else has it. In fact, it didn't even exist before for human consumption. If that gets your attention, wait until you hear some of the testimonies and the results, okay? In this product, Fix is our hero of the story tonight, but we're going to go into a second one, and I think you're going to be excited about that as well. So, this product alone launched in I have to think about it, 2024. Yeah, not even 2 years old. The owner of our company, like I said, he's been in manufacturing for many years. He has a lot of very strong, solid relationships. He's a man of faith. I don't believe without his prayers that we would have even gotten this phone call. You can choose what you want to believe on that. But he got a phone call, and there was a company that had been doing research on this, clinical trials, human research for the past 80 years. And they learned that this extract, now this is a one ingredient plant extract. It comes from the earth, and no one else knew about it for the longest time. This actually had the ability inside of the human body to activate your body's vagus nerve and burn visceral fat for 9.5 hours. Now, a lot of people didn't understand it when it first launched in our company. In fact, they thought that it was going to be a weight loss product. So they were all excited. They hurried to the scale. And then, I mean, some people, of course, they lose weight because as you get your body into homeostasis, it's likely you're going to lose some pounds. But what they were also noticing, body composition changes, a calmer nervous system, reduced stress and inflammation, better focus, mental clarity, better sleep, mood, energy. You guys can read the list. I could read it to you. Take a screenshot if you need to. Incredible side effects. Okay? Nothing negative here. And on top of that, they were also realizing it was safe for all ages. Men, women, children did not matter. You couldn't overdose on this product. It's colorless, odorless, and flavorless. The first of its kind. This is not hops. This is matured hops extract free. You could try to find it on Amazon. You will not find this, okay? It is exclusive to us. The MHE3 is the kicker. 3 bitter acids that go straight to the receptors in your body that are targeting and signaling 1,100 different systems in your body that say, hey, this is what we need to do. Again, the body's ability to heal itself. When you activate the vagus nerve, miraculous things can begin to happen. I'm going to pause right there because I mentioned that this was safe for all ages. And I heard a testimony just last week. I was like, Jana, girlfriend, you need to share that. I need to hear that again. And I want everybody else to hear it. So I'm going to stop my screen share for just a quick second, because that's one of the questions I get almost every single day. Kylie, is this safe? And how much should my child take? I will tell you, I have a 2-year-old. He takes this regularly. I also take this regularly. My husband, everybody, all ages, it's completely safe. But Jana, would you mind? Thank you for being on tonight. Just unmute your line and tell everybody a little bit about you and your sweet baby story, please.
Sorry, I had to find the unmute button. Okay, thank you for having me on. So I was actually going to share on Veracel. He started taking Veracel,
Oh,
but
let me bring you back. Let me bring you back. I was
okay.
okay. That's right. Okay, I literally told Jana, I said, I hear so many positive testimonies all day, every day, that I can't even keep them straight. But this is really good. Okay, so you guys can chew on that for a minute. We're going to bring Jana back on, and that's the second product I'm going to tell you about. See, this is the way it works. Anybody can do what I do. I promise you that. We're going to bring on Alistair. Alistair, can you come on and share what Fix has done for you? But before you do, I do want to add this just because I did mention children. I'm going to add in my son's testimony, you guys. So my son Henry, we actually adopted him last year, officially in October. We've had him since he was 6 weeks old, and he's a fiery little redhead. Okay, he's so cute. And we knew when he was born that there would likely be maybe some some side effects from the situation that he was in. His fight or flight was next level. Okay. So he actually fought for his life for a month and he is a miracle story. And I believe God's hand has been all over him since the day he was conceived and he had a plan for his life. Now, I will tell you this that he was honestly a very good baby, but we noticed his digestive system was so out of whack. We're talking, I have two biological children, and I mean, if they drink breast milk, explosive diarrhea. Like it's just the way things happen. I thought that's how babies operated. Then I had this baby, and he wasn't going but every maybe once or twice a week. And he was in so much pain. And it was a friend of mine, Allison, who understood the product better than I did. The day that I enrolled, I really didn't even know what I was jumping into. And she said, "You've got to give this to Henry. You've got to try it out." Day one, he was pooping regularly. And then we started to notice he's now 2 years old. And I had kind of gotten away from it. You know, sometimes when you start to feel good, you get away from the thing that made you feel good in the first place. This was where I was as a mom. I was kind of like, oh, yeah, I would forget to give it to him. All of a sudden, this fight or flight response was going on, and he was having these tantrums that we really didn't understand. And again, Allison reminded me, thank God for my friend Allison. She's like, why aren't you consistently giving that to Henry? I was like, oh my gosh, you're right. What have I been thinking? He was having these tantrums. We didn't know why, and we didn't know how long they would last. Start putting this into his bottle. And here's what you guys need to understand. Henry is still Henry. He is not a weird version of himself that's way too chill. He's not high strung. He's literally this better version that can handle emotions that go up and down, but he's able to regulate so much faster. And I give him the same amount that I would take, and it literally just goes into his milk right before he goes to bed. And that's how simple it is. And so I really did want to share that with you so you can understand all ages are benefiting from Fix. But Alistair, can you come on and share what your experience has been, a little who you are? Thank you for being here.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for having me on. It's an honor to be able to be on tonight. All right, so my name is Alistair Hunt. I'm from Anna, Texas, just north of Dallas, Texas. And I've been in the health and wellness industry for over 17 years. I think just celebrated 17 years in January. So been in it for a while, but did not start there. I was actually a web designer and then a business coach. And then I got fluffy, eating out with clients. They were paying, I was eating, sitting behind the computer all the time. And I found myself extremely fluffy. And actually got in the wellness industry because I needed to be able to lose some weight, right? I knew that there was a host of health injury or health conditions that ran in my family, and I knew it was all based on obesity, right? So I knew I was headed down that path. This is when I was in my 30s, and I had a new wife as well, so I had to keep her as well, so that was important. But I ended up losing a whole bunch of weight and feeling amazing. And all I did was I just coached people how to do the same thing, right? I was like, this is what I took, this is what I did. Do you want to do it? Let's go. And that's how I started and got an extremely fast start in the industry. Helped a lot of people. I think last calculated, we helped people lose over 8,000 pounds, in that industry. So just amazing how it is that I felt. But it was even being in the industry and even coaching people how it is to get health or in wellness results. I went to the dentist just to be able to get a deep cleaning on my teeth, and he told me, you need to go to the doctor. And I said, why do I need to go to the doctor there? He said, because your blood pressure is through the roof, right? And so found myself at the doctor, and the doctor said, well, we're going to have to put you on blood pressure medication. And I said, ha ha, doctor, I'm Mr. Health Coach, and I'm obviously not in bad shape, so I'm not getting on blood pressure. Part of what I do is help people to get their doctors to take them off of blood pressure medication. He said, I don't care what your thoughts are, but you're at stroke level, so we're putting you on meds. I already called in the prescription, and then you can figure it out. Like right now, you need to get on blood pressure meds so you don't stroke out. And this is the two things he told me. He said, A, you've been operating at such a high level of stress for so long as an entrepreneur that you didn't even know that you're stressed. That's why it is that you've been operating. You had no clue you had high blood pressure because you seemed healthy. If you needed to lose weight, I would tell you to do that. If you needed to work out, walk, I would tell you to do that. But he said stress and lack of sleep will kill you just as quickly as healthy eating. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any of that stuff. And he said that is what it is. He also told me that it was genetics as well. Because it ran in my family, I didn't accept that. But I did know that I wasn't taking care of my sleep, and I wasn't just taking care of myself, right? So, anyways, got it all straight and thought I was doing really, really well. Keeping my blood pressure regulated, still high, but not high enough for me to be able to worry about. And then all of a sudden, I'm getting ready to go to Africa because we have a nonprofit over there. So we're doing the groundbreaking for our children's village over in Africa, getting ready to go over there. And again, go to refill my blood pressure medication, and my doctor says you need to go to the ER. I said, so why I need to go to the ER? He said, because your blood pressure is 185 over 110, and that is stroke level. So you need to go to the ER. And me being a guy, guys, we're stubborn, right? Self-care. I was like, I'll just wait till my wife gets home. And by the time she got home, it was 195 over 115. And she said, which ER do you want to go to? We're not if you're going to the ER. This is no longer a choice. By the time I got to the ER, it was 205 over 125, and I'm having no symptoms. Like the doctor's asking, does your chest hurt? Does your arm hurt? Neither one of those, and they can't figure it out. But they told me basically it has to be conditional or whatever else. Now, here's what I knew. By the time I left the ER, they kept me there for all day, and by the time I left, I asked the ER doctor. I was like, "Look, I'm planning on leaving for Africa at the end of the week. I'm going to be a third world country. Do I need to cancel my trip?" And he said, "If we can keep it under, 165, still not good." But I said, "Just you go." My friend Joy, I called her up and she says, she didn't give me a choice because Joy knows me and then she knows how stubborn I am. And she said, "You're getting on these drops as soon as it is that you get back." And I said, She said, "Doesn't matter." You're taking them because we need you to be around. And I really think this is going to be able to help you. Sometimes you need that assertive friend to be able to believe in you and your health more than you did. So, anyways, I was able to go to Africa, and the whole entire time I was there, I noticed that my blood pressure was way lower than there, which shows that environmental. So I get back, Joy gets me the drops, I get on them, and not only do I start to notice my blood pressure regulating, but I also noticed that I was getting the best sleep that I've ever had in a long time. I also noticed that my brain fog that I was experiencing went away. I also noticed that it was easier for me to focus. I wasn't being as reactive. Whenever it is that I get into situations as a small business owner, and I coach people on how to do small businesses, right? So I wasn't being reactive to that. And so those were instantaneous results. I was a long-term person. It took a while for me to actually get results when it comes to feeling better and losing visceral fat and everything else like that. But I noticed how I felt right away because I'm very aware of how my body was. But then the smart thing that Joy also did was she told me, she's like, "Hey, the best thing for you to do is to go ahead and sign up so you can get, buy two bottles, get one free. And not only that, I need you to hold your place because I'm about to get really loud and I'm about to build really quickly, right?" And I know Joy and I know Rose, who's her upline coach as well. And I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and do it. And that was the best decision I could have made because when I was ready and I started looking at the business model, it all made sense. One of the things that I teach my coaches is to can y'all still hear me? Because it's freezing on my side. Are you good to go? Okay, good. All right. So one of the things that I always teach my clients whenever I'm coaching them in business is find a need, fill a need, right? And I knew there was a big, huge need. Every single person in Earth has a vagus nerve, right? So there's a big need there, right? I know lots of people who it is that are stressed out and that are experiencing some of the health challenges that I experienced as well. So that was a big thing there as well. And then I had a great result. So I knew the products that work. They were unique products at the time. We only had Fix. It was a unique product that everybody needs because they have a vagus nerve. So it just all aligned up. That to me is business success. So I said, okay, let me go ahead and look into this business. And let me tell you, it's been nothing more than amazing. Both the results I'm getting, the results I'm helping people to get, and now the business results that I'm getting. So just super excited that you had me on. I'm glad I could share my story. If you're here for a reason and you're listening to this for a reason. So listen to that nudge that's telling you to go ahead and get started and let's go.
Oh my gosh, I love that, Alistair. Thank you so much for opening up and sharing your story. We're so excited that you said yes and that Joy harassed you long enough to make sure that you tried it. No, I'm just
Threaten
kidding.
me, threaten me. Don't let's get it right. She didn't harass me. She told me you're taking
Listen,
it.
sometimes we just have to listen to our friends. So I love that so much. So, y'all, as you can see, I mean, products that are working for real people, I will tell you, of course, we don't have time tonight. This is not an infomercial where we're going to be here all night bringing on different testimonies after testimonies, but we do have a community full of results just like these. And you can hear all of them. Henry's stories posted in there, Alistair's stories posted in there, and so many more where that came from. Real people, real results, what the products are doing for them. And so if you're asking yourself, like, well, I wonder if this could help me with this, the reality is our product does not help you with issues. It allows your body itself. So if that makes sense, it essentially goes in and helps your body identify what's going on so that it can then work on doing what needs to be done. That's the biggest difference between a Band-Aid and a root cause. Okay, so the next thing I want to share with you, guys, this I am beyond excited about, and I want to tell you a little bit why. And we're going to talk to you a little bit more here in a second about the timing and really understanding what we do have our hands on. So, as I jumped in, I saw a movement around this product called Fix. In fact, just with the launch of Fix alone, 7 people in our company, think about this, less than 2 years, have already earned well over $1 million because of this opportunity attached to these products. And so I understand being in the industry for over a decade, and you're going to hear from somebody in a moment who also understands timing in the industry, but I knew that success leaves clues. Now, it's very unusual for lightning to strike twice inside of a company, meaning, they find something and it works and it explodes and everybody's excited, and then they get another phone call. I will tell you, it has everything to do with who we are at Marketplace Global, why we keep getting phone calls like this. And so here recently, we got a phone call, we got a connection to a product that actually has 30, 40 years of research. And so just to kind of go back, this product was rejected and nearly lost a race with Big Pharma in 1995, a version of this product, when they realized the innate ability to maximize your immune system's response to all the different diseases that compromise the immune system. So in 1985, there was a discovery. Anybody, you can let me know. I mean, I think we could all agree that we have grandmas that used to crack open aloe vera anytime that we got a scrape or a cut. And we understood there was some type of healing benefit in this plant, right? Healing benefits inside of plants is not some new concept. We've known it for centuries, for thousands of years. And so in 1985, it was discovered that there was something inside of this aloe vera plant called acemannan. And acemannan actually had an incredible way of allowing your cells to communicate with one another and maximize your immune response. I heard this said the other day and it really resonated with me. Is it really that your salad made you sick? That some bacteria found its way onto the salad? Or is it actually that your body just lost the ability to fight what's been there all along? Because I don't think 100 years ago we were probably hearing the things in the news that we're hearing today. It's that we are so immune compromised because of the environment that we're in, and our cells are no longer effectively communicating with one another. So when this was discovered, we believe biggest breakthrough since antibiotics. I mean, this is massive to think about what this could do for your body's immune response. Who here has a loved one? Give me a thumbs up if you have a loved one who's immune compromised. They're struggling with something due to an immune deficiency, right? Anybody seen somebody hospitalized because the sickness was just about to take them out? So when this was discovered, when it was launched, we started hearing life-changing testimonies. Now, we, meaning the people that were part of this initial formula, but our company is getting ready to roll out this coming Friday a brand new product called Veracel. Still the science, still the original belief system around this, the testimonies, the research, the science, but now 4 times more effective. So the original product was doing $500 million a year. And I don't think a whole lot of people knew about it. And so what we're about to do globally, they have now entrusted us, Marketplace Global, to steward and share 4 times more potent, 40 years of science and data, immunity, aging, gut health, and cognition. Think about this. If your cells could identify, just go here with me. I'm not going to name some diseases, but just think about this. Use a little creativity. If your cells could identify when there's something in the cells inside of your body that's not supposed to be there, what would that do? And if it could now fight it. I think of it this way. We have an alarm system. I feel a lot safer sleeping at night knowing if somebody's in my home that's not supposed to be there before they show up to my bedroom. That's essentially what this does for your body. And so I'm going to bring on another testimony. And this time for the right product. Sorry about that, Jana. But I do want you to know that this isn't just another product. This is a product with a purpose. Okay. Every single time a bag of Veracel is purchased this coming Friday, going forward, one child will receive an entire month of nourishment because of what our company is doing. This doesn't happen when a bag sits on a shelf. Okay. I'm just letting you know this is a people driven platform because we understand the power of communication, especially in a society that is not really respecting that a whole lot anymore, right? We want you to be relational and have those conversations. So, Jana, go ahead and unmute and take it away, girl. We're excited to hear from you.
Hello, thank you. My name is Jana. I'm a mom of 3 children, ages 7 and under, and I'm going to share the testimony of my middle child. So I'm going to be honest, when I first heard about this, I had no idea what it was. So I started looking into it more naturally, of course, like anyone would do. And I started researching the main component, the acemannan. So my son has had digestive issues pretty much his whole life. And that's what originally caught my attention because I was looking at it from more of the gut side of things. When I started digging into it more and seeing all the research around this active ingredient, I was like, wow, this is insane. Like seeing things about regeneration, especially like with teeth, which was something that really got me because he also not only has gut issues, but has enamel hypoplasia. So if you don't know what that is, it's basically his enamel never fully developed in utero. So his teeth are very, very fragile. Some of them are worked up all the way to the gum line, and like non-existent in some areas. So when you really start to connect everything, it starts to make more sense. Like when he was born, he had multiple like oral ties. We had them revised, but when he was like a few days old, but he never could latch properly. And I didn't respond to pumping. So it was like he was never getting the nutrition that he actually needed. Like we supplemented and we did the things that we could, like what we thought we were doing was okay, but it just never he just never was. We could tell that he was missing something. His digestion just was always off. Right now, he's almost 4. He'll be 4 in August. And he had never had a solid bowel movement in his life, not once. So we've tried a lot over the years. You know, we're very intentional with his diet. We pay really close attention to our environment and everything like that. And it just nothing ever helped. So when I started seeing all the research behind this, I was like, we need that now. So as soon as it came in the mail, came around 10 a.m., I was like, here you go. He took it. And, you know, I'm a pretty rational person, so I wasn't expecting anything to happen right away. Honestly, I was like, okay, if we give this maybe 6 months to a year, hopefully we'll start to see like some really good progression. And I was very hopeful. So that night, that same night around 6 p.m., I was like, okay, I'm going to give him his second dose. So I gave him another scoop. He had it probably 30 minutes later. He had his first ever solid bowel movement. I literally like ran to my phone and I was like, is this related? Can this be? Is this possible? I was like elated. So hold on, okay. I think like that's what really made me stop and like pay attention. I'm like, okay, I need to start like documenting this. So it's like one thing if it happens one time, right? But if it continues to happen, you just like, you know that you're onto something good. And as a mom, like, you know your child. So you know what's normal for them and you know what's not. And that definitely was not normal. So I was like, yes, because I mean, we've tried things before and it never changes. So I'll just say, like, as a mom, when something is not right with your child's health, like you feel that, you carry that with you. And there were so many nights where I was just like up praying and asking like for guidance and asking like, please give me something that will actually help. And to see, hold on, babe, to see something like actually shifting and actually changing in him is just like, absolutely amazing. So I'm just very thankful and I'm really hopeful to see what continues to improve with his body. And I'm just really glad that we gave this a try.
Oh my goodness. I love that so much, Jana. Thank you for being on and sharing his story. And, how many parents, grandparents, even aunts, uncles, how many of you can relate to just watching a child struggle and having an answer that, doesn't cause massive issues? I know when Henry was struggling similarly, it was like, gosh, I took him to honestly the best children's doctor in the or in the country. I think they were rated, and they prescribed something, and he was violently ill all night. And I was like, this just isn't worth it. Like, I can't do this to him. This is worse than the problem in the first place. When we made the switch, it was just such a peaceful transition. And so we are just here to offer hope and offer a different solution to regular people. I would say 30-40% of people are going into doctors today looking for another way, and the reality is people are waking up. There is a movement happening where people are more open to things like this than ever before. Oh, Kathy, you're so sweet. It's the product. I'm telling you, it really is the product. So I will tell you that our products work and people are truly looking for something different. But I'm going to introduce you to a friend of mine, and I am so excited for you to meet him. Actually, he and I got connected. He didn't even know it, but when I was first looking at this company, I was sent a video just like this one. It was a recorded presentation, and I got to hear from Mark Klassen. Is it Klassen or Klassen?
Got it right. First way's good.
Klassen. I've been saying it right. Okay, I'm so glad because people always jack up my last name and I just let it go. It's no big deal. So I got connected with Mark before he even knew my name. And I was just watching a presentation that he was part of, and I was blown away by how he shared his vision of why he jumped into this company just a couple of months before I did. So, a little bit about him. He's been in the industry 24 years. He has made his way to six figures and beyond in everything that he touches. He is, I mean, I wouldn't call him a serial entrepreneur. He's just real good at it. Okay. It's a real thing. So he has served on field advisory boards. He knows what to look for strength and longevity inside of companies, but he's also married 32 years. So he's a devoted husband. He's a dad of three, loves Jesus to the moon and back, and he loves people. And that's evident in every single time that I hear him speak. And so I just really look up to you. And he gave me scripture, Matthew 20:26. You guys can look that up if that floats your boat. If you want to check it out, go ahead and do that. But Mark, we are so excited to hear from you. Can you jump on and share your vision, why this opportunity, why right now, and everything in between? Thank you for being on.
Oh my goodness, Kylie Riegler, thank you for having me. I tell you what, if Kylie asks you to do a Zoom with her, you say yes, right? What a privilege it is to share this hour with you, Kylie, and just bringing vision to a world that needs what we got, you know. Um, yeah, thank you for a fantastic presentation so far. And to all of you that are, spending this time with us, thank you. Thank you for opening up your heart and your mind to hear what we're all about. I'm a real believer that knowledge is never a disadvantage. And so you are getting yourself educated on what's happening in our company and what's possible. And hopefully, you can see if it might be a fit for you or not. I did the same thing 24 years ago. I looked at network marketing for the very first time. I was this disgruntled, ambitious insurance salesman is what it was. And I just wanted more for my life. I just wanted to be free. That's all I wanted. And someone invited me to look at a network marketing company and opportunity. It wasn't quite the same as what we're experiencing today. But anyways, that led me to a 24-year career. I joke around, I was hungry. I was working on my PhD. I'm one of these guys that barely got through high school. I think I got kicked out of every science class I ever attended. The only thing I remember about science was the mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. That's the only thing, right? I spent half my time in the hallway. And so, for me, I was just this guy that was hungry, but really, I had to do something, find something simple that I could do. And I joke around and said I was working on my PhD. It stands for Poor, Hungry, and Driven. That was my PhD of life. And I just needed something different, right? And so I found this profession, and it's been a marvelous fit for me, and I am completely sold on it. this industry, it comes with a bad rap at times and it's justified. When you do it wrong, it's a nightmare. When you do it right, it's a dream come true. I've been on both sides of the equation. I wish I could sit on here and tell you that I've been in one company for all these 24 years. I thought that's how my journey would go, but that's not the plan that God had for me. He brought me to 5 different companies, and through processing that experience, what I've come to realize is he's given me perspective. And that's a perspective that I need to share because I think most people, when they look at an opportunity, they do not know how to pick and choose a good opportunity that suits and meets their end game goals, right? Often in this type of a business, someone shares with us a product that they got excited about. They share a link or whatever. Maybe they give you one. We are good humans. We start talking about it to the people we care about. Next thing we know, we get a check. Next thing we know, we're like, oh, that's kind of cool. I'm going to do more of that. Next thing we know, we're in business that we never intended to be in business with people we never chose, right? That's kind of how the industry works. And so I think a lot of people don't know how to identify the right opportunity for them based on what they're looking for. And so that's my superpower, I think, is that I get to help people break that down and really help them see if this is the fit for them. So I wish we could just jump straight to the last slide, but we can't. We're going to walk through a few. So, Kylie, if you can just take me to the next one here, that would be great. And look, I can't even do technology. Kylie needs to, advance the slides for me, right? You can do this. So it pays to share, guys and gals. I'm telling you right now, there are people out there on their knees crying out in desperation for something like this. They're hurting. They're hurting physically. They're hurting financially. I believe in my heart of hearts that I'm selfish if I don't share this every day. I am being selfish. That's the way I feel about it because we have a solution for those people that are hurting. The average American, what did I heard? Like they're $500 away from bankruptcy every month. Like that's reality that people face and live with. That's pressure. That's stress, right? So people we know are looking for solutions. Earlier today, I was on a Zoom with people in South Africa. There was a lot of people in that Zoom from South Africa. Guess what? There you go. Alistair was on that Zoom. Those people have the same needs that we do, right? There's people out there. It doesn't matter what city, what country, we're all the same. We all have these needs. And so we've got a company here that has premium wellness products with a real opportunity if we choose to share with other people. We'll go to the next slide here, Kylie. Like, so why does this work? Here's what I truly believe. Every single one of us, when we look at something like this, we need 2 questions answered in our mind. We need the fact that can we really do this? Right? We got to get that answered. And we got to get the fact that will it be worth it? If we can answer those 2 questions, then we move forward. And I'll just tell you that you can do this, right? You can do this. What do? We use products, right? We share our link and we get paid. It is that simple. We can't overcomplicate this thing. It's that simple. So we've got a simple, effective, affordable products exclusive to MPG. You heard Kylie talk about Fix. Fix controls or affects 1,100 functions in our body. If we're going to market ourselves to someone, wouldn't we want to have a product that could be a potential solution to 1,100 potential problems? Doesn't that make sense? That increases our prospect pool like this. This is just good business, right? This is being smart. And so that product is exclusive, is a first out, best dressed product category. Like we're not competing with anybody here. We're not trying to get in the collagen game. We're not trying to get in the peptide game. We have a product category that no one else has. Veracel. That product is not like on trial. In a previous company, in a previous era, it sold over $3 billion of sales. Clearly, there is a demand for that product, right? Clearly, there's a need. So we've got flexible ways to work this. There's so many people that have a need for money and they need to do it around their kids, right? And I mean, so many people come into this just to make maybe an extra $500 a month. Maybe you want to put your kids in a private school so they have that positive influence. Maybe you want to dress your kids in designer clothes. Maybe you want to take them on a family vacation once a year and make memories while they're still under your roof that will last a lifetime. Maybe those things are important to you and it's just money holding you back. This is a business model that you can do from the freedom of your phone. You can do it in the carpool line. You can do it at the swimming pool. You can do it wherever you want to do it. You weave it into your life because there's systems that are in place. You don't have to create it. They're all there. You just need to apply yourself, right? right? Training, leadership, support, community. This is what I found that for every person that's successful in this profession that I found in 24 years, they have these three characteristics. Number one is they have a burning desire. I mean, talking white heat of desire, like what is it that they must have in their life? They've got that clearly defined. Super important. Number two, they have a willingness to work hard. This is a networking program, not get rich quick or net positioning or any of those things. It's a networking program. Like any business you start, you have to put in the time and the effort. And then lastly, you have to have a 100% coachable and teachable spirit. You've got the leadership here. You have the people that have been successful. You have the systems that have been successful. If you come in and apply yourself and take advantage of what's there, you can be really, really successful. We'll go next slide, Callie. We got another thing going on here. I don't know how many people knew that we had a travel program. Like there are companies and network marketing guys and gals that this is their product. So they charge a membership fee, they charge a monthly fee, so you can be a part of the travel platform or program. Well, guess what? We offer it to our ISRs and to our customers. If they maintain a certain amount of orders, they get access to this platform for free. It's like free travel, right? It's a tremendous way to create customer retention and customer loyalty. Again, a tremendous perk that we have here at MPG. We'll go to the next slide. Choose your path. Here's the way you can do it. You can start off as just a wellness customer, and we value that and we appreciate that. Maybe the business side's not for you. Get your drops, get on these products, right? Start feeling the benefits of it. Often people say, listen, I just got to experience it for me, and that's fair. And a lot of times it becomes much easier to share when you have a personal story attached to the products. We have an emotional result, and that's really from a place of integrity, frankly. So that's a place that a lot of people start, or you could just say, listen, this is what I've been looking for. All of this makes sense. Start off with a wellness and a business pack, right? You get the training, you get the scripts, the mentorship, you get the support, the community. It's all there for you. How do you get started? There's going to be an investment. Honestly, this is the investment is your overhead consists of a getting started package. You're starting a business, all right? You don't have to go buy a whole bunch of inventory. You don't have to hire staff that you have to pay. You don't have to get an accounting department, payroll, all these things, like all these expenses that you have in a traditional business, you don't have that here. You start with getting some product so you can get in your body, get a story, start sharing. It's that simple. There's 3 different levels here that you can start with. You can start with, you heard, I think someone referenced, buy 2, get 1 free. That's the 229 package there, the 3 bottles. If you want to work with Veracel and Fix and use them together, they stack it together very nicely. There's another option there for 249, or you can get the builder kit at 579, which is more products of both of those categories. Let's just jump to the next slide here. So this is the one that I'm most excited about. Please lean in here, ladies and gentlemen, as I kind of go through this. There's a lot of companies in our profession. And there's a lot of companies that say they've got the best thing and the best this and the best that. Here's what I believe in my heart of hearts. The number one thing that you need to look for in a company is timing. It is crucial and it's non-negotiable. Write this down, please. Don't leave your fortune to your memory. Write this down if you can. Timing to network marketing is what location is to real estate. It's everything. Don't forget those last 2 words. It's everything. Location, location, location. Timing, timing, timing. I've been with a company for 7 years. I poured my heart and soul, blood, sweat, and tears, everything. I invested everything I had. I missed a lot of important things in my life to build. And at the end of the day, I figured out I was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Great company, great products, but I needed to be there at the beginning. The key is at the beginning. Please draw a big S on your piece of paper or whatever you're taking notes with. I'm going to give you some information that, it might come fast and furious now, but write it down, study it. If you feel free to reach out to me or whoever invited you, if you want to talk about it further and get clarity, it's that important. This is called the S curve in business, okay? At the top of that S, I want you to write stay big. That's what the top of that S stands for. On the middle of that S, that diagonal portion, I want you to label that as momentum. Write 300 million plus. next to that, okay? And at the bottom of that S, I want you to write formulation, concentration, small below that. This is when you want to join a company, all right? A company is in formulation when they're usually around the 0 to the 30 million annual revenue mark. They're formulating their product portfolio, they're formulating their leadership, they're formulating their infrastructure, they're doing all that. Here's our company history. We opened our doors August 1st of 2022. We launched Fix. We basically became a new company with the launch of Fix, August 1st of 2024. In the 7 months that existed in 2024, we did about $10 million of sales with Fix. Write that down underneath where we wrote formulation, okay? Last year, we did about $50 million of sales with Fix. This year, we're weaving in Veracel, okay? Remember, Veracel alone did over $3 billion of sales in a previous company, in a previous era. We're weaving it in. We're projecting to go well over 100 million this year alone. So a company segues out of formulation into concentration around the 50 million mark. That's what happens. What does concentration mean? It means there's an intense focus in the company to find people that are looking for this, right? My favorite saying is this: we're looking for people that have the sight to see this, the wisdom to pursue it. It's one thing to see something, it's another thing to be smart enough to do something about what you see, and the courage to take massive action. Ray Kroc said it even a different way. He said you have to be at the right place at the right time. You have to realize that you are there, and then you have to take massive action. That's Ray Kroc, right? He is a tad bit successful with his franchise model, right? We are chief vision casters. When we're in concentration, that means we are chief vision casters. We're painting the picture of where this company's going, right? And it's getting in early. Here's the key, ladies and gentlemen. You do not want to join MPG in momentum. It's too late. You've missed it. The idea is you want to monetize the momentum window. That's the key. You want to get involved now, build a team so that when you hit momentum, that's when the monetization happens and you make the income, right? Let's call it what it is. All of the other things are out of our control, right? We don't own the company. We have an opportunity to build a distribution channel with an owner. We have great owners, Randy Tyrant, like every other network marketing company owner, for as long as they choose to have that model or keep that company in business, right? The key is catching great timing when the company is extremely profitable so that you can maximize the income return from that. That's the key. That's what I truly believe. If you want a slow and steady route, there's other options. There's legacy companies out there with archaic compensation plans because those are the comp plans of those eras, right? You can go join there. It will be a slow build, maybe not nearly as fun as this, but it's possible. Or you can take a rocket ship right now with us. That's what you can do, right? So timing is crucial. I want to say something. I've had the privilege of enjoying residual income for 24 years. Once you taste it, it ruins you. I have 3 kids. My youngest one is now 24. When she was 3, there's a quick story. We were driving down the road. At that time, I lived in Canada. Now I live in Arizona. It was cold and it was a nice day. And she was just chattering in the back. And we were actually going to a team builder's place that also cut hair. I was taking her for a haircut. She knew her daddy was taking her for a haircut. So I think I was on the phone or something, and she's chattering away in the back. And she goes, "It's a nice day, Daddy. I wonder why more people aren't on the golf course. We're passing a golf course." And I just said something to the effect like, "They're all at their job, sweetheart." And she said something that stunned me and stopped me in my tracks. She said, "Not you. You're free." I did a head snap. Probably almost drove off the road. I said, "What did you say?" She thought she was in trouble, but she repeated it again. She said, "You're free." Life's not a dress rehearsal, guys, gals. It's not. We got one crack at this thing. Every day we live, we exist, is one day that we don't get back. How are you going to live? I am so passionate about this mana relief mission. I'm passionate about it. I grew up as a missionary kid in Southeast Asia. I live with the poor and the needy, the least of these. to be able to mix that with business and change lives. I don't know if you can get a purpose greater than that. I don't. We all have a purpose. We all have greatness in us. And I know this, to get change in our life, we got to do something different. I'm not a prophet, I'm not a fortune teller. But if you were to say to me, Mark, I wonder what the next 5 years of my life's going to look like, I'd say to you this: look back at the previous 5 years and make no changes, and you'll probably get more of the same. That's kind of how life works. To get a different result, you got to do something different. And this company is a gift. We're called Marketplace Global because we're a global marketplace, but we're also called Marketplace Global because we make people great. And it's the great people that want to be everything that they want to have and do in this world. This is just the financial vehicle that allows it. I know we've taken a long time and we haven't gone into the compensation plan and those things. Get back to the person that invited you. It's worth understanding. Ask the questions. Better yet, ask the questions internally. A lot of people miss this thing by 8 inches. That's the distance from your head to your heart. They don't have a come to Jesus with themselves and ask themselves, why would I truly want to pursue this? What do I want? What must I have in this life? And then understand that this is just a vehicle that will take them there. Kylie, back to you. Thank you for giving me the privilege to share tonight. It's been an honor.
Oh my gosh, Mark, thank you so much for being on. I love Nikki's comment. When you hear how Manna Relief uh, was founded, you'll really be amazed. So Nikki was part of kind of the mission that made this product what it is today. So you all, this is going to make a lot of noise. People are going to hear about it. You just have to ask yourself, who do you want to be the one to tell them? And so God bless you all. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. There is so much more information where that came from. In fact, we do have an app that if you're the type of person that wants to learn more, please reach out to the person who shared this with you tonight, and he or she can literally send you a quick text with anything that you need. It's like a buffet. So just pick if you want chicken wings or pizza. We're here to serve, okay? We will talk to you all next time. Have a great night. Bye-bye.